Trade rumors surrounding the New York Giants are heating up as the insiders over at the NFL Network have named trade targets and the latest on Joe Schoen potentially making a move for a pass catcher. Before we dive into that, I want to say thank you to every single person that has subscribed to the channel. And if you haven't, changed it. We put out multiple videos every single day for free on your New York Giants, and we are almost at our goal of 90,000 subscribers. If you bleed Giants Blue, help us out and hit that sub button right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Video number 3 of the day, and it's because all of you are showing a lot of love. If you guys continue to watch, we'll get you as much content as you deserve. Reports coming out from Ian Rapoport and Mike Garofolo of the NFL Network saying the Giants have called teams for receiver help after losing Malik Nabers to a season-ending knee injury. Also, Tom Pelissero, who filled in for Rich Eisen on his show today, named some wide receivers he thinks could be traded before the deadline, and they are names that we have not talked about yet. The Giants are thin at the wide receiver spot. We know Nabers is out for the year. Slayton is dealing with a hamstring injury. Who knows when he will return? Those are always tricky. Wan'Dale Robinson played a really good game this past Sunday. Is he going to be able to keep that up as wide receiver 1? As much as I want to believe in Bo Collins, Jalen Hyatt, and a little Jordan Humphrey, I still think the New York Giants could benefit from going out and trading for a wide receiver. It's just not all that simple. The idea of trading for a receiver is extremely complicated. I would love for them to go out and get a guy that can get open, catch the football, eat up green grass, and help Jaxson Dart in his rookie year. And even though I bleed Giants Blue, I'm not sure a trade would turn this team into a playoff contender. So I am trying to balance the fact of how much do you want to help Jaxson Dart now while you're still trying to keep your assets in your back pocket to help this team into the future. Like, for instance, trading a second-round pick right now for a big-name wide receiver that would help now and in the future, but you would have to pay them a lot of money compared to waiting, use what you have, and using that second-round pick in the draft to add a receiver that you hope is ready to play and make an impact year 1 and a fraction of the cost on the salary cap going forward. I understand both sides, but I'm of the belief if you can add a really good football player to your team that can help now in the future, I kind of lean towards doing that. And if Jaylen Waddle, the wide receiver for Miami, is actually available in a trade, then yeah, I'm willing to sit down at the negotiation desk and see what the Miami Dolphins would want. Tom Pelissero, NFL insider for the NFL Network, filled in for Rich Eisen today. And he said and named Jaylen Waddle as a player and receiver that could be moved prior to the 2025 NFL trade deadline. Taking that with a little bit of a grain of salt, but man, oh man, if this guy is available and the Giants get a trade done to go and get him, I am absolutely all ears. Is he a wide receiver 1? No, but he's a top 5 wide receiver 2, and with his speed paired along Malik Nabers for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you would have a top wide receiver duo in the National Football League. And that's something the Giants have to factor in as well. If I go out and trade premium draft capital for a player, that's going to be my wide receiver 2 of the future, and you're probably saying goodbye to Wan'Dale Robinson in NFL free agency. And you might even be moving on from Darius Slayton after just 1 year, as he is on the books for $12+ million over this year and each of the next 2 years. And I love the idea of Nabers and Waddle being my go-to targets, but it's not going to be cheap. I wouldn't trade a first-round pick for Waddle, but if they want the Giants' second-round pick of the 2025-2026 NFL draft, I would probably do it because I think that value matches up. And I'm really only willing to give up a second-round pick for game-changing wide receivers, a guy like Jaylen Waddle, who is elite, can run every route on the route tree, can separate, can take the top off the defense, multiple 1,000-yard receiving seasons in his NFL career, and he is still just scratching the surface of his prime in the National Football League as he is just 26 years old. Wouldn't be cheap. Probably cost you a second-round pick, if not more, as I would assume they would want a first-round pick, but I'm not trading a first-round pick for him. So I would do a second-round pick. And if shit continues to get weird with the other team that shares MetLife Stadium and Garrett Wilson is on the trade block, yeah, I'd be willing to give up a second-round pick plus for him as well. If you didn't watch that Jets and Broncos game yesterday, you're lucky because it was absolutely disgusting. But Garrett Wilson was pissed off. You could see it in his body language. You could see it at halftime when he was chewing out Aaron Glenn. And even post-game, his comments did not paint the picture that he was happy with his role and being a member of the Jets. He said this, quote, "I just didn't know exactly what the plan was," talking about the sequence that happened before halftime where you could see him and Coach Glenn walking in the locker room visibly upset. Once I figured it out, I was disappointed. I'll just say that. I didn't know exactly what the plan was. Once we converted the fourth down, I just thought we were going for trying to make the play. Obviously, we have to get another fourth down. It's a tough spot to be in. In hindsight, I get why they did it. But in the moment, I was just like, man, I don't know. Yeah, I think we have to have a, quote, "We've got nothing to lose" mentality. If that's how we feel, it's got to be obvious. If you're out there as a player, you should feel like, oh yeah, let's go. Even on the TV, I feel like y'all should see that. As a fan base watching the team in the media, y'all should be able to tell we're playing like we have nothing to lose. I don't think that was evident today. I think that's where we've got to go. We're 0-6. Let's let it fly. I'll say that. And yeah, I 100% agree, and I hope that Garrett Wilson continues to push the issue to potentially force his way out of the New York Jets organization. I think he's one of the best young wide receivers in the NFL. I think he would be an amazing compliment to Malik Nabers going into the future and a perfect target to add to this team to play alongside Jaxson Dart in his rookie year and into the prime years of his career. You would have a top 5 wide receiver 1 and 2 duo. You would have 2 wide receiver 1s. You'd have a star left tackle. You'd have a rookie quarterback you believe in, a young running back as well with a loaded defense. If Garrett Wilson or Jaylen Waddle becomes available, yeah, the New York Giants should be doing just about everything it takes to get it done outside of trading away a first-round pick. Another name that we have been talking about and hearing a lot about is Chris Olave, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, who is currently a New Orleans Saint. I have mixed feelings on Olave. I think he's a good wide receiver. I'm not sure he's a great wide receiver. But if the reports are true from Tom Pelissero, who suggested a third-round pick for Olave could get a deal done, that's what he said on the Rich Eisen show, then yeah, my interest starts to peak for Olave. Good receiver. Not a great receiver. Someone that at age 25 still has a lot of tread left on the tires and would be a really good wide receiver too. For a third-round pick, I am extremely interested in him. He has 2 1,000-yard seasons in his NFL career. He's not a perfect receiver, though, but he's a damn good one. I wonder if he's going to be able to stay healthy, because that is something that he has not been able to do in his NFL career. The concussion history, it is long, it is scary, and I'm worried about the player and the person a lot as well. He's also going to be looking for a big contract. He's in the 4th year of his NFL career. He's on a 5th-year option next year of $15 million. He is contract extension eligible, and I believe any team that's going to trade for him is going to have to give him big money. He's not a $30 million receiver. I don't really even think he's a $25 million receiver. Can I get a 3-year, $60 million deal done for him? Yeah, I'd be down with that. He's also a smaller receiver at 6 foot. 187 pounds. Him and Nabers are similar in stature. Nabers obviously a little bit stronger and has more weight on him, but he's not great in contested catch situations. 30 contested catches on 74 contested catch targets. Not a great percentage. And he's not really a yards after catch guy as well. 790 yards after catch in his NFL career. Good route runner. Can beat man coverage. Gets open. Has good hands. But he's smaller. and he's not extremely explosive, and he's not a contested catch guy, and he's not really a yak guy. He's a really good wide receiver too. And if he's available for a third-round pick, I probably would make that trade. But there are things that make me hesitant about making that move for all the reasons we just listed and showed. If you're not willing or not looking to trade a first, second, or third-round pick, Jerry Jeudy might be a wide receiver the New York Giants could look into. I go back to the 2022 season where the Giants made the playoffs. We were doing Jerry Jeudy trade rumors then. We had heard the New York Giants were seriously in negotiations with the Denver Broncos to make a Jerry Jeudy trade happen. And here we are again 3 years later as the 6'1", 195-pound, 26-year-old receiver out of Alabama seems to be on the trade block. Again, the Cleveland Browns are not stacking W's. They are going to be sellers at the NFL trade deadline, and Jeudy could be a player they look to make a move for. I think Jeudy is a solid wide receiver. I don't really think he is a game changer. I think as a wide receiver 2 next to Nabers, he would be pretty damn good. But to be honest with you, I'm shooting a little bit higher than Jerry Jeudy as a wide receiver 2 for the next 3, 4, 5 years next to Nabers. I also don't love that he doesn't really catch the football all that often. He drops the ball far too often, in my opinion. This year, he already has a handful of drops, as I'll pull those numbers up just to make sure I am 100% right about this. This year, he already has 7 drops. Last year, he had 10. The year before that, 4, 6, 2, and 12. He has 41 drops in his NFL career. Darius Slayton has an 11% career drop rate, one of the highest in the NFL. Jerry Jeudy is 11.3. I like wide receivers that get open. Jeudy does, and then catch the football. He's had a little bit of a problem with that. We also know the Giants and Brian Daboll have ties to Jerry Jeudy. They spent time together at Alabama, and they have a good relationship. And Daboll has talked about in the past how he thinks Jeudy is a really good player. Look, if he's available for a 5th, a 6th, or a 7th round pick, then yeah, I would be interested. 5th is probably the highest that I would go for Mr. Jerry Jeudy. But I do seriously worry about his ability to catch the football. A higher career drop percentage than Darius Slayton is never really what you want. If we're potentially talking about buying low on a player, what about Adonai Mitchell, the second-year wide receiver out of Texas? He is extremely talented. He was a second-round pick by the Colts, who was a healthy scratch this past week. A lot of people think that that could be due to him letting go of the football and fumbling 1 yard from the end zone, where he would have notched his first career touchdown in the NFL. I don't know. He doesn't play all that much for Indy. And if I'm willing to buy low on a player, this is the type of guy. 23 years old, 6'2", all the talent in the world, can stretch the field, can go up and be a threat in 50-50 catch situations. Someone that has an amazing route tree. He is an elite route runner. At least that's what his tape at Texas showed. And if he's available, I would call. Is he? I don't know. I do know the Colts need a corner. And the Giants have a corner that was a first-round pick that doesn't play anymore for this team. So what about the New York Giants send Deonte Banks to Indianapolis and the Colts send A.D. Mitchell to the Giants? Would you make this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. Would you trade Deonte Banks for A.D. Mitchell? I would. I don't know if the Colts would. Maybe you throw in Evan Neal as well. We'll give you all our bad picks for a player that you don't seem to be all too high on right now. A.D. Mitchell would be a great compliment to Nabers if he lives up to the hype. And I want a big-bodied receiver next to Jaxson Dart. He likes throwing those 50-50 balls. He's had success with little Jordan Humphrey. I kind of like a bigger profile and contested catch guy next to Nabers going into the future. I got a couple more trade targets and things to talk about. But this Giants Nike t-shirt, it's on sale. Was $45. Now it's $35. And you can get it at this link and this link only. Chatsports.com/Giants shirt. Chatsports.com/Giants shirt. Another situation that is similar to A.D. Mitchell. What about the second round pick rookie wide receiver Trey Harris, the former college teammate of Jaxson Dart, the former high school quarterback of Malik Nabers. He has relationships with players on the Giants right now. And like Trey Harris, or like A.D. Mitchell, Trey Harris is really on the outside looking in of the snap count and the snap getters for the Los Angeles Chargers. Why is that? I'm not really too sure. They do have some really good receivers. They're relying on Olave McConkey. They have Keenan Allen as well. They also have Quentin Johnston. But even in a game where Johnston didn't play, Trey Harris didn't play all that much either. Is he available? I don't know. Could the Giants convince the Chargers and Harbaugh to make a trade? Maybe. Reports are coming out from NFL.com that the Chargers are in the market for running back help. Well, New York Giants maybe have a running back or two they could be willing to trade. Devin Singletary, does that get it done for Trey Harris? No. You'd have to add something to Singletary. Maybe it's Singletary in a fifth. Maybe it's Singletary in a sixth. Maybe it's Singletary a sixth and Evan Neal. I don't know. If you really wanted to get it done, maybe you offer Tyrone Tracy for Trey Harris. Not saying I would do that. Not saying the Giants would do that either, but I'm sure that is the rebuttal that the Chargers would come back to the Giants with. I love that he has a great relationship with Jaxson Dart, his wide receiver one at Ole Miss. I love that he has a great relationship with Malik Nabers as well. Trey Harris was the quarterback in high school to Nabers. I love his overall profile, a 6'2" plus, a deep threat, contested catch guy, and can make plays with the ball in his hands. How likely is it the Giants could trade for him? I'm not really all that sure at this point. Other reports are coming out that Rashid Shaheed, the speedster, big play wide receiver for the Saints, is on the trade block. Ian Rapoport saying the Saints are expected to or have already received calls on Rashid Shaheed. Rapoport reported a few days ago that the Giants are making calls around the league for wide receiver help. It's unknown if they reached out to New Orleans. We also know names like Jacoby Myers could be available and other names as well, but I wanted to spend some time on today's video talking about players that we really haven't had an opportunity to spend time on talking about before. So we've gone over 6 names on today's show. Name a wide receiver you want the Giants to trade for. I'd love to go out and get Waddle. Is it possible? I don't know. I'd love to get Garrett Wilson. Is it possible? I don't know. Olave for a third? I'm interested in that. A.D. Mitchell on the cheap? Yeah, I really like that as well. Give me a name you want to see wearing Giants blue. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. And make sure you hit that thumbs up icon on your way out. You guys are showing a lot of love to the channel. We appreciate that. If you keep showing love, we'll keep getting you multiple videos every day. Smack that thumbs up icon, and we'll see you later.